A few weeks ago, Vice released a different video than usual.
If I'm doing porn music, I want it to be porn music.
Your classic intro to porn is just a bass slide. Just throw a little bass slide in, and then you got like porn going.
I loved it. It was funny but kind of informative at the same time. It also really interested me because in my free time I also produce music. So ever since I started making music, I always like to challenge myself to produce different types of music, no matter if country or even dubstep. So while watching the Vice video, I thought to myself, could I potentially also make a song that could be placed in a porno? Well, let's find out. So before I get into actually making the songs, I desperately need a pseudonym. Okay, cool. From now on I will be called
Massimo Flim.
So let's get started by making the first song. But wait! Massimo! You need some more knowledge about the style of music that is used in adult films. Well, that is true. I guess there is only one way to find out. Let's start with a quick history lesson. In the late 60s and 70s, porn films played in the same league as the mainstream films. They were screened in theaters and critiqued like normal movies. They had similar budgets as well. The music in adult films also had a specific purpose back then. I talked about that to Lucas Kazan, a director and producer from LA.
So sound was oftentimes dirty, like production, soundtrack. So music was a way to distract from sound problems.
Back then, the porn music was mostly unprofessional sounding jam recordings of funk bands. So here is my take on a 70s porn song. Then the 80s came around. Porn went into mass production.
So we go from movies in the 70s with a big audience to mass production in the 80s, where producers were trying to get original composition, but, cheaply done.
This led to a worse quality of the porn music itself. Synthesizers were becoming mainstream, so they also snuck their way into porn films. An 80s porn song could have sounded like this. As time went on and technology developed, it was no longer necessary to cover the dirty audio track with porn music. But then a different problem appeared.
Consumers today are turned off by music if it is in the background. They just want to hear the sound of sex as it happens.
So let's put it that way. Music in porn during the act is mostly dead. Today, most of the people making porn, so the directors and composers, think of music in porn as a storytelling tool. So it is most commonly placed in the intro and outro of the videos to set the mood. Most producers today actually use royalty-free music because it is really cost-effective and you don't have to pay another composer to write you a specific piece of music. The songs used in porn today are mostly relaxing instrumentals or songs that specifically fit the story of the video. My first 2020 porn song is a more hip-hop influenced track with lots of guitars and vocal samples. The second song is a more house-based song with some saxophones in it. Last but not least, another hip-hop based track with some more synthesizers in it. So these are all the songs I put together. Now I just need to put them out there.
So the journey begins and Massimo spreads his wings. No email is safe from his songs so groovy. Please place them in an adult movie.
So yeah, I sent my songs to pretty much every producer email address I found. But unfortunately, almost half of them never arrived because the email was either non-existent or the receiver blocked my message. A lot of people also were not really interested, but they took the time to respond. I shot my last adult work in 2013. Not making videos anymore, best of luck. We are not looking for any music compositions at the moment. I'm afraid this is not something we would be interested in at this time. Unfortunately, Joseph was our creative director and he passed away last year. To be honest, at this point I was almost ready to give up. But then an actress and producer gave me a positive response. Hey Massimo, I love the songs in the portfolio. How can we proceed? We started writing emails back and forth. But I also quickly realized that this opportunity was probably also a dead end because I didn't have any official documents for my songs, so they couldn't be placed in a TV production. I just wasn't able to find anyone who could just put one of my songs in their adult film. But wait, what about Lucas? I already introduced you to him at the start of the video, but how did we actually meet? Well, Lucas was also one of the people I reached out to by email. He was not really interested in using one of my songs from the portfolio, but rather in a collaboration with a musician for a future project. So let me show you some more of the talk we had on Skype.
So I may be in need to re-engage with music producers and composers at the time. So if that's something that you may be interested in, we can have the conversation at that time.
Yeah, sure. I feel like just as a fun project that would be already...
Yeah, challenging. Keep in touch. Again, if at some point you want to send me a new email with your real contact so I can file it properly as opposed to Massimo Flynn will disappear. Okay, Massimo, I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye now.
Thanks, Lucas.
Bye-bye.
So yeah, Lucas was such a nice guy to talk to. And considering the future project, I'm pretty sure that I will take the challenge. So let's talk about the elephant in the room. Was my challenge a failure? Well, if we are talking about getting one of my portfolio songs placed in an adult film, I guess the answer is pretty clear. But I had the possibility to put my music production abilities to the test, and I also met lots of cool and interesting people like Lucas along the way. I also had to learn that porn music isn't as important anymore these days as it was in the 60s or 70s. I guess today it's pretty much impossible to earn a living just by making porn music. I also believe that the internet made us lose the ability to see the value in the content we consume. Behind every free adult film, music piece, video, photo, or even article, there's a creative person behind it that is trying to make you happy with the content. So if you like what they do and you want them to keep going, just show them some support and love. And most importantly, try to see the value they bring into your life.